pro-action campaign group, Don't Pay UK, are taking a stand, though. These guys have got a radical plan against the energy price hike by refusing to pay their energy bills. And
they've got some support. More than 114,500 people have signed up, pledging to cancel their direct debits for gas and electricity. And we're now joined by Louise, one of those who is refusing to pay her bills in October. Refusing to pay your energy bills has consequences, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But first of all, tell us why and your own personal circumstances have driven you to taking this stand.
Well, I just feel like we were being bullied, to be honest, and I don't think anybody likes bully. And this situation where they have open access to your bank account to just hike up this direct debit and just take your money, I just felt really angered by that. And I just thought, that's it. You know, I'd seek...
I think there was a little bit of interruption. No, I understand that.
To stand with the campaign, Don't Pay UK, because I just thought, you know, it's the only language this government speaks. It's money. It's all about money.
OK, but just explain to us why your energy bills, if you can, or give us a sense of why your energy bills are so high and why this is not just like, well, I'm not paying. This is sort of real, not quite life and death, but, you know, it's an urgency for you in your home.
Well, it is, yes. We have, you know, serious medical conditions within the family that because of the state of the NHS, we are now having to fund private medical treatment. I mean, and that shouldn't be happening anyway, because we are all taxpayers. And as we have seen, all the money that was going to Europe hasn't been pumped into the NHS, the £350 million a week that it was going to be getting. It clearly isn't, because we have got huge waiting lists for, you know, really important treatment. And some treatment the NHS has refused to pay for now. So we're having to pay for it. And so the energy hike for me is I'm just, you know what, you can demand as much as you like. I'm not paying it.
But look, Louise, what you're effectively asking people to do is maybe break the law. I mean, this is quite a serious thing. Don't pay your bills.
These are
These are considered by step change. But hang on, Louise, step change, the debt company, even step change. And look, I agree, you know, I sympathise with your kind of reasoning behind it, but the action, I think, is a bit concerning. Even step change, one of the huge debt companies, they say that this is a priority bill. And the worry is that this can lead to debt collectors coming round to your house, court summons. Then you could get a black mark against your name. Just because you took part in this campaign, you may never be able to get a mortgage for the rest of your life. You've got to think properly about this. Isn't it quite irresponsible?
Yes. Right. Well, can I just answer that? For one, you're not breaking the law. You have a right to withhold a payment if you wish. No one's going to send you to prison. The prisons are, you know, the prison, like everything in this country, is completely underfunded. They haven't got enough places to put people in prison. No one's going to go to prison for not paying an energy bill.
But you could end up in court. But you could end up in court. You could have a court summons, couldn't you? I mean, if you don't pay,
yeah. But that is even now. That even the chance of that happening are really low because of the numbers and the problems with the infrastructure in this country. So, I mean, that aside, we're not being irresponsible. The irresponsible people are the energy companies and the government. The government could have seen this coming in 2014 when Putin decided to take Crimea. The political party that he represents are a united Russia. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out what his future plans are going to be. And the government have had plenty of time to come up with a solution, with a backup plan, but they have failed because they're too busy concentrating on lining their own pockets.
Louise, I think lots of people will agree with your reasoning and the reason why you want to do this, but whether the action that you're suggesting, I don't know how many people will agree with that. What kind of support have you got right now? I remember speaking to one of the people on the campaign on this show a few weeks ago. I think you had 100,000 at that point, but now your latest figure is only 114,000. Do you think you really have the people of the country behind you?
We do, and I think we are law-abiding people. I'm a law-abiding citizen. And then we saw these sort of smear campaigns that came out. Oh, you know, they're all militants. No, we're not all militants. We are ordinary people who want to stand up and we want to be listened to. And sadly, in a democracy where we should be listened to, the only language that the government speaks is money. Okay. So the only power we have is to be united. So in our numbers, we have strength. And if we can stand there and say, look, you can't just push us around. We're not just going to do as you ask. We're withholding payment. We're not saying do not pay ever. Do not pay for your fuel bills ever. We are saying for a short period of time, you can miss one payment if you like. That has a significant impact on the energy company. And,
you're making an impassioned plea, and we can see that you're not an irresponsible person. And so I understand, and I think many people will understand where you're coming from. I guess what Adol's trying to do is make sure that everybody knows the consequences and make it very clear. Thank you very much for telling us your perspective, though. It's fascinating, and good luck with dealing with the fear that I know you feel for your family and the conditions that they have. We should say, thank you, Louise. We should say that the Energy UK have said any customer who is struggling to afford their energy bills should contact their supplier to see what assistance might be available. Suppliers need to be able to cover the costs of buying energy, otherwise we could see even more of them go out of business. And the general advice is very clear for individuals. The consequences may be not seen of withholding payments. So best to take some advice on that. And if you have been affected by any of the issues, because this is very frightening, isn't it, Adam? We've talked about this morning. It's very frightening for people. Everybody has individual circumstances in their life that mean that they feel it's tough to deal with and manage this, and it's frightening. But there is advice and support at itv.com/helplines.
And decisions we make now are really important. And actually, as Martin has said so many times, the energy companies are obliged to help you in this circumstance. So if you call them and say, I cannot make that payment, they have to come up with a payment plan that suits you. And that should be the first port of call.